Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newpert from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are going to discuss the kettlebell strength formula. All right, let's dive in here. I don't know about you and where you stand on this, but personally, I've been fascinated by gaining strength, getting stronger, being strong in some form or another, I think probably my entire life. So whether it was hanging on the pull-up bar and see how many pull-ups I could do, hanging on the pull-up bar. Well, it's like those old T clotheslines, right? So in my mind, it's a pull-up bar. You remember those? I don't know if you had those when you were a kid, but it's like a T clothesline here. So we'd hang on one side, I'd hang on one side, and my friend would hang on the other, and we would, see if we could do pull-ups. Right? That was like 4 years old, 5 years old. So whether it was doing that or training in Olympic lifting, Olympic style weightlifting, and working to push 400 pounds over my head in the jerk, or pressing a pair of beasts, a pair of 48 kilo kettlebells, strength has undoubtedly been my thing, right? For lack of a better term. And, I think it's just really interesting to point out here, speaking of strength, that most people think that kettlebells are just for conditioning. Okay. Just for conditioning because they're light, right? But what they fail to understand is that the kettlebell, it's just a tool. It's just a weight, just like a barbell or dumbbell or even a rock. So, however, it is more versatile than many other tools, if not most other tools. And you know by now, probably, that you can shove your kettlebell over your head with a press, push press, or even a jerk. In fact, we have other lifts that are more advanced, right? The bench press, for example. So you actually shove the kettlebell over your head by wedging yourself under the kettlebell. Strange as it may seem. Not only that, but you can swing the kettlebell, you can snatch it, you can squat it, you can even toss it or juggle it. So all of these exercises are great for developing strength. So let's dive into the formula. What is it? Well, here it is in all its glory. We'll flash it up here on the screen. Number one, find your 4 to 6 rep max with a particular exercise. Number two, then work on getting 10 sets of 5 or 10 sets of 6 with it in one training session. All right. So let me explain that. Right. Over the course of time, you want to take that 4 to 6 RM and get 50 to 60 reps with it in one training session. So Jeff, are you telling me that's it? That's all there is to it? It's that simple? Taking a 4 to 6 RM and turning into 50 or 60 reps? Yep, that's it. It's that simple. Well, now why? Why does this work? Well, by that point, it's obviously no longer your 4 to 6 rep max. In fact, depending on your muscle fiber type dominance, whether you tend towards slow twitch or fast twitch, and your training background, that old weight could be as much as your new 10 to 15 rep max. Okay, so that's a pretty good ROI, all right, or return on investment. Okay, now just a little side note here, fast twitch dominant people will be closer to that low end, to the 10 RM, and slow twitch dominant people will be closer to the high end, like that 15 RM. And just so you know, one isn't better than the other, they just are, for lack of a better term. Okay. So once you've done that, well, you've built up the cross-sectional area of your muscles that are involved in that particular lift, which science shows us contributes to building strength, also known as bigger muscles, right? Make you stronger. Number two, you've practiced lots of reps or practiced the skill of strength. Okay. And that increases the myelination of the neural pathways involved in that lift. And number three, you've built up some specific conditioning for that lift, which means you can recover better than you once did and realize your strength gains. Now, how you go from taking your 4 to 6 RM and turn it into 50 to 60 reps per session or in a particular single session is entirely up to you, right? Here's some ideas for you. Okay, you can use straight sets, so multiple sets of 3, for example. You can use ladders where you start with 1, then you move to 2, and then move to 3, and then you move to 4, and so on, for example. You can use pyramids, okay, the good old-fashioned pyramid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, for example, but I don't necessarily recommend it. That's because fatigue accumulates pretty quickly with that, okay, as opposed to ladders, which are fatigue sparing. You can do other things like you can rest on the clock, right, with specific rest times, like on the minute or every minute on the minute, as some people call it, or you can auto regulate your rest times and then go when you're ready using specific metrics. Okay. You can train 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, even multiple times per day, greasing the groove, so to speak. Okay. Using so to speak a lot in this video, so to speak. So the point is, there is no perfect way to do this. Okay. There's only best for you at the current moment based on your training history, your injury history, your limitations, and of course, your schedule. Okay. So if you're working 100 hours a week, 2 to 3 times a week is max. But if you have a luxurious home office job where you work 4 hours a day, right, you might be able to do grease the groove and train 3 to 5 times a day. Okay. Again, it's all dependent on you. Okay. So honestly, it's this variety, okay, all these variables which drive many people crazy, they just don't know what to do now, as in right now, this very minute, for today's workout and the upcoming workouts this week. So what happens is they get confused, they get overwhelmed, and they don't do anything. And they put off getting the strength they want until the proverbial someday, okay, which you and I both know rarely, if ever, comes. So you might be asking, hey, Jeff, what's your favorite way then for building total body strength with kettlebells? Well, of course, you might know this already if you've been following me in this channel for any length of time, or you're on my email list, right? It is using a pair of kettlebells. My exercises of choice, well, it's the double kettlebell clean and press and the double kettlebell front squat. Toss some single kettlebell snatches in there for power production, right? And some conditioning, and you have the near perfect kettlebell program for pretty much any man over 30 or 40 or 50, okay? Depending on injury history. Let's say you got a clean bill of health. Now, what if you don't want to squat, or you hate to squat, or you just refuse? You're like not going to squat. Well, just build your strength with a good old fashioned double kettlebell clean and press. Wait, you might be thinking that's all there is to it? Yeah, that's really it. Once again, I pose the following question, okay? Listen closely and then answer this for yourself. How strong would you be if you could clean and press a pair of 48 kilo kettlebells, 106 pounds per hand, for 10 consecutive reps? What's that? You're not there yet? Well, why wait around, my friend? Why not get after it now? I guarantee you, if you embark on that journey, your muscularity and conditioning will take care of themselves if you embrace and chase down that goal. Okay? How exactly do you go about doing that? Well, I recommend 2 different programs I have. The first one is the Strong program found in Kettlebell Strong, and the second one is Kettlebell Maximorum, which actually pairs the double kettlebell clean and press and the double kettlebell front squat, and then tosses in some single kettlebell snatches. I'll leave a link for both those programs in the description below. So hopefully this video clarifies the whole get stronger using kettlebells thing. All right. If you found it helpful, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, share it with a friend, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Until next time, stay strong.